Okay. Now you can tell me the thing you was about to say. Automation.
I was about to say I'm troubleshooting some weird sounds on the board.
Oh, no.
It's a whining sound.
No, not a whining
and
sound.
At first, I thought it was this cheap but reliable sound card that I got from JJ, right? That I actually bought from JJ probably before I started working for him, honestly.
I know I bought mine before I started working for him.
So I thought that's what it was. And then I got the brilliant idea. Oh, shit. And I'm live chatting. Hold on. I better respond to that live chat. And then I got the brilliant idea to unplug from that sound card and plug into the Mac headphone jack. And the whining was still there. So what does that tell you?
It's not the sound card.
It's not the sound card. It's either the cable or the board. I'm hoping it's the cable.
So next step is start with the cable.
Yep, and I will know. Hold up. Is that the right one? No. Damn it. That's weird, too. I think there might be something wrong with my board.
Oh, that's terrible.
Because, all right, how do I explain this to you? So right now, my setup is I have the Vocaster plugged in, headphone jack coming out of the Vocaster into channel 2 on the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where voiceover is set, and most of the time Zoom, like everything's set to that as my primary output.
Gotcha.
Which is fine, and I'm okay with that. But, let's mute that because I'm tired of that freaking noise in my head. It took me a while to figure out what was giving me a headache, too. I'm fine with that, but the problem that I have right now is, what I noticed today is I have music set to go to channel 5.6, which is a stereo pair.
Right.
Because I want to hear my music in stereo. Imagine that.
I mean, why would you not?
Exactly. So that's when I really started paying more attention to this whinings. I was listening to music on the speaker while I cleaned up the garage a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that whining is still there. Is it an issue with the mixing board, or is it an issue with the cable or to the board or the cable from the board? Because there's a lot of moving parts that it could be.
Uh-huh.
Then I came over here and I was using voiceover and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I hearing voiceover in the speaker? And I reached up and made sure that channel 2 was turned all the way down for the monitor. This isn't called monitor, but made sure channel 2 was turned all the way down.
The output off the board.
Yep, off the board, and I was still hearing voiceover. So then I slid the slider for channel 5.6 all the way up, and I could faintly hear voiceover in my headphones when MAME was pressed. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm not happy either, because it almost sounds like
is crossing wires internally on the board and doing, that's seriously, just because when you started talking, I was like, oh, Mike's going to get to the end of this. And I'm like, hey, maybe it's that Vocaster. That's the problem.
That's what I've been thinking, is maybe it's the Vocaster.
But if all the audio, especially for voiceover, is routed out of the headphone jack that's plugged in, like, that has no bearing on audio being sent to the wrong output channels on the board, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that is awful.
And I don't know. I haven't had this board for very long. It's been like a year, I think.
So,
granted, I use it every day, all day long, but...
Yeah, but, we've had this discussion before, too, which is, I think... So... Let's start with, we'll get into that because I'll forget. So we've had that discussion before of like, I wonder if some equipment isn't designed to be used in the way that we end up using it, right? Because you listen to other podcasters, for example, in the world, and all of this for our listeners that don't know us very well, all of this audio setup stuff stemmed from us being podcasters and wanting to have great audio. And then, of course, you get into the geeky part of it. It's like, well, I can get a board and I can route stuff this way. Or you want to do what I'm doing right now, which legitimately is actually being all done in software, but still, I'm recording myself in Reaper and recording Mike in Reaper, which is also how I edited the last episode. So, hey, check that out. I didn't even use the clean feed recording. I just used the stuff I saved in Reaper. We had a discussion a while back because I had gone through, I think, probably more audio stuff at that point than you and been like, man, nope, I didn't like this. I sent it back. This is crap, yada, yada, yada. That may be one consideration for us, and not just us specifically, but thinking about blind users, those that use screen readers, is we will do the thing where my audio interface, your audio interface, many blind people's or many screen reader users, so I don't want to categorize them as blind if they don't like that. Many screen reader users' audio interfaces are constantly in use because we route our audio through that, period. Mm-hmm. If I'm recording something, then I record stuff. But if I'm just using my computer, I got on the headphones and I am using my screen reader. And that audio is being, because it's already set up, right? Like, just throw on the headphones, go to work. It's actually kind of strange for me to have voiceover coming out of the MacBook at all. Like,
yes,
that's
very
it
weird.
Feels weird now. Like, in the early days when I started, that's just how you worked. But
I feel like I have hearing loss when voiceover is coming out of the Mac.
Right. It's like, yeah, something wrong. What's going on? So we have had that conversation or I threw that thought out because we didn't really have a discussion because neither one of us knows enough about how this stuff works, I don't think, to say, yeah, that's a problem. No, that's not a problem. But is that a issue with certain types of audio equipment that is not designed to be used the way that we end up using it? It should be, to be fair about it. I'm not saying that it shouldn't work, but I wonder if there is something that we're finding issues in, because me and you have gone through, like, people should go back, if you're really interested, go back through some of the DM episodes. We have gone through a lot of different audio equipment over the years.
Yeah.
Sometimes because it didn't provide the functionality we want, such as, giving me multi-track, because I'm a real nerd about that. Like, I really want all of my tracks on my board to go across the USB. Both ways, for sure, but absolutely at least coming out or coming from the computer, from the USB into the board. Like, I gotta have all those tracks.
I have a convention in 7 weeks. I can't afford for a mixer to go down.
Right, and that's the problem. So let's get to the solution of this, or how to at least discover what the issue is, because you have had that board for less than a year. So one, is should still be up on the warranty. Two, I believe you bought this from Z-Sounds. They seem to be pretty good about, fixing stuff.
Yep.
And we'll also come up with some solution for potentially resolving it if your board is down and you can't get it fixed. So first, you're going to have to do it, unfortunately. Just disconnect everything. Are you off on Monday?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably disconnect everything tomorrow / Monday, because you're right. Got to disconnect everything.
Yeah, disconnect everything. Everything. And then just start with the Vocaster and see if you're hearing any sort of sound from the Vocaster. And if you eliminate that as the problem, then bring the board back in, but bring it back in its most basic form of how you're using it. So I would say send all your audio down channel 2 coming out of the Vocaster.
From the Vocaster.
And use just your mic on channel 1, assuming that's where your mic is, for input into the host connection on the Vocaster. Get all the cables out of the way. Like, that's the main thing. Like, get all the cables out of the way and just start reconnecting stuff bit by bit and setting up routing bit by bit. Because it could be a situation where it's cables crossing each other. And you're not immediately seeing these cables crossing. Even and I'm taking a wild stab because I've had weird stuff happen with audio boards over the years. Even that picking up of audio from this channel or that channel. It could be because the wires are touching each other. They shouldn't be touching each other.
Right.
So that's, and I would do that, figure out where that does two things. For people listening, it's a troubleshooting process, right? You want to eliminate what the problem isn't and figure out where the problem is. So you take it step by step. Once you identify where the problem is actually coming from, for Mike in this case, number one, if there's something you can do, you can fix it. if there's not anything you do, you have more information to give to support when you're trying to get the board repaired or whatever, or exchanged or whatnot. Because then I was thinking about that as you were saying, like, Mark's got a thing coming up in like a few weeks. So we can't let this go on too much longer.
I've dealt with it for longer than I wanted to, but that's part of how things go because, gotta figure it out. So that's my drama this week because it feels like there's always some sort of different drama every week.
Hey, man, that's life.
Right. Just make it through it.
My other question for you, though, before we get off this is, do you still have your Soundcraft?
I breathe because I'm honestly not certain because of the move. Like, I don't know, man. I have not seen it since we moved, so I don't really know. I will look though, because I think I see where you're going. Put the Soundcraft in, or get that back in place.
Yeah. If you don't,
you know who will know? Mallory does.
Or if you can't put your hand on your Soundcraft, or if it has gotten lost in the move and the mix and the shuffle and all of that stuff, let me know and I will send you mine because I know you got a thing coming up.
Yeah.
So you need that board. Like I can't even think of a way right now in my mind for you to software do this with a Vocaster or any sort of other kind of quick audio interface you could put your hands on and make that work.
I mean, I have a way I could do it with the Vocaster, but it's definitely not ideal.
Yeah.
Because it would be running that LR 1/4 inch out the back, muting speech. I'm relying on Braille. And then that would give me the Zoom audio and the monitoring audio all through the Vocaster. Like that would work. It's not ideal though. And I'm limited to two inputs.
Yeah, that's
which actually could work.
If that could work, here's another solution. If that could work outside of losing the voiceover speech being the primary issue, you do have AirPods or something, right?
Well, and I have this other sound card that I can plug headphones in that I just remembered about.
Yeah, so you can use SoundSource to route. Yeah, you can use SoundSource to route your voiceover elsewhere.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Go into voiceover utility.
Well, yeah, you could do that too. Don't forget about voice. Look, man, I just cheat and use. Look, basically, if I want to switch, so here's how stuff gets out of control on you very quickly. So I don't even actually personally use SoundSource to route voiceover audio differently when I need to. I just hit Control-Shift equals, and that connects my whatever Bluetooth headset I have, the AirPods, the Beats or something, to Bluetooth using AirBuddy, and that routes voiceover. Like I'm done. Like that's it. So I really was trying to reach for like, how do you change that where voiceover goes? Because I don't know.
So yeah, fun times.
But if you can't find your Soundcraft and you want me to ship you mine out there, like
I'll let you know by Monday, and I'll pay for shipping. Obviously,
yes. Well, I mean, you don't have to let me know by Monday. I mean, that's time to figure all that out.
Let me
know.
I'll let you know this week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let me know this week, and then we can get it shipped out there to you.
Because then
I do know where mine is.
Process of
and it's already all boxed up because I never took it out of the box to try using it again because I ain't cleaned off my desk.
So I sent you an audio earlier today.
I did not listen to it.
Oh, come on, man. Seriously? Did you read the email at least?
No. There's an email too?
Oh. Yeah. So what I did is I recorded part of what you and I are going to talk about for TipJar subscribers. It's about 15 minutes long. I think, unless you think we shouldn't, we'll drop that into the TipJar subscriber feed on its own as well. And what it is walking you through how I save projects in Reaper, which sounds like, what do you mean it take you 15 minutes to walk me through how you save projects in Reaper? Well, I explained to you each of the checkboxes that I check, what format I convert files to, FLAC, because it's always FLAC. And then FLAC. I go in.
Shout out to Garth.
Yes, thank you, Garth. Appreciate you. He might actually listen to the show, so huge shout out to Garth. Robin does, and so does Sean. So maybe
Jacob listens to our show.
What? Shout out to Jacob.
Huh?
Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah. It just randomly came out the other day. That's actually where I got the Zoom Studio math from. The H5 Studio math from, because Jacob was like, I was listening to Technically Working. And I was like, what? Oh, okay, great. Awesome.
Keep listening. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And tell us if we get boring. Do you want shorter content, Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob got a direct feedback line if he wants it.
Yeah. You don't even have to send an email, Jacob. You know Damashe's phone number.
Yeah.
And mine, too.
Yeah.
I was going to say you should, but you do. Anyways, so I walk you through how to save projects. I also show you how to save defaults for projects, project defaults as well, and put your media in the media folder. Then I go in and I show you briefly paths and explain what each of the path settings are in preferences. So I took the transcript, sure thing. I'm live chatting with a company right now. So I took the transcript of the audio that was separated with my voice and voiceover, and we dropped that into ChatGPT. And I said, create me a tutorial style email that I can send to a mailing list to share this with some other individuals. And I thought it turned out pretty darn well. So yeah, both of those are in your messages.
Good deal.
I even cleaned it up. I just kept all the markdown and everything. I'm like, he can deal with the markdown.
Oh, yeah. Markdown is good.
So you edited last week. Do you want to give any feedback on that flow?
Yeah. So editing the episode was actually pretty straightforward. All of these skills I learned initially for editing audio in Reaper are what I relied upon. Like there's new stuff or there's different ways or more expedient ways of doing things that have been shared with me, mostly by Mike over the years, that because I wasn't editing anything seriously, didn't soak in. But the original stuff that I all picked up, again, shout out to Garth, man. Thanks for what you did with, what is that podcast he was doing with the Reaper stuff? Ray Producer. Yeah. Shout out to Garth.
And there's also the Reaper accessibility. Man, why am I drawing a blank? The Reaper accessibility wiki.
Yeah, that's probably helpful too. But I think Garth produced all that content before I knew that existed or before that existed. And most of what I know, like most of what's ingrained in me for using Reaper, I got from Garth. So, no disrespect to the Reaper Peepers list, no disrespect to ReaperAccess.com or anybody else, but everything that's ingrained in me for editing podcasts came from Garth. So all due respect to Garth. And if I make it to Australia sometime, I will make a trip over to, because I think he's in that part of Australia that's on the other side from all of the other places people think of. Like Sydney and Melbourne are all like on one side of Australia. My understanding, I could be wrong. But Perth is where I think Garth is like on the other side of the continent. So it's like, oh, there's LA and San Francisco over here. And then there's New York all the way over there. It's kind of my understanding. But I will make that trip all the way over there to get that dude beer or tea or whatever the hell he drinks. Because, man, but that's all I relied upon is the stuff that I learned years ago when we first started using Reaper to edit this episode. So it was slower than it could have been. Probably should have been because, I was just scrubbing my way through. But I did zoom way out so I could scrub through faster. So it's almost the equivalent of, having playback set to 1.5 or 2x. I just had to hold down the arrow key the whole time. But yeah, it really wasn't hard, man. Like the only thing is like more efficiency, like, just becoming more efficient with the shortcuts and things that you have learned over the years is where I need to get to now. But actually editing the episode, like it wasn't problematic. I didn't have to go look up documentation or anything like that to figure out like, how do I do this thing? Like, no, I need to select this area right here, make sure my ripple mode is set right so I can clip all that out. Oh, nope, I'm just clipping this part out of my track where I was coughing into the microphone. So turn the ripple off and clip that out, split that or whatever, and then chop that out. So it was actually a pretty smooth process. I was surprised when I was done and I was rendering the project that it was like 56 minutes. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't even shooting for that. It's just where it came out at. Like I had
Now, were you shocked by how quickly it rendered? Because you really haven't rendered on an M processor, have you?
I haven't. Not anything that long. I don't know. I think it kind of, to me at least, seemed like it took like maybe the same amount of time. It probably didn't. It probably was faster. It's just because I haven't been rendering in a while.
Yeah.
I didn't, it wasn't
funny.
instant.
I'll render a piece of content on this Intel Windows machine that I have to my right. And it is so slow. Like, that's with no plugins on the tracks at all. And then I'll come over here and I'll have RX iZotope, breath control, and mouth declick on the tracks. And it renders faster than the Windows. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate you, Mr. Mac.
So for an episode that's about, 50-ish minutes to 60 minutes long, how long roughly would you guess it takes to render on the Intel machine?
On the Intel machine, probably 12 to 14 minutes.
Oh, good God. The hell? Okay. So how long on the, okay.
on my MacBook Pro, it takes 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. So that's about how long it took, about 3 minutes or so, maybe 2 minutes. And I was just, I guess because I was looking at the thing, I was like, oh, good grief. Like, why is it taking so long? You should be done. But no, it was about like 2 minutes or so for me.
In perspective, when you put it in perspective.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I was like, I don't remember how long it took to render stuff when I was on an Intel Mac. So that's why it's kind of an unfair thing. And that's why I asked, like, how long does it take to, 15 minutes? What?
Yeah, I have a client I work with.
Intel, you suck.
I have a client I work with, and she only has access to a Windows machine, and she produces her own podcast. No,
there you can buy Windows computers with geez, what's the company? I'm forgetting the company's name right now that are ARM chips though.
Yeah, but I have an ARM PC here. I need to get Reaper installed on it.
Ah, there you go, sir.
You see where my mind went?
Yeah, try that out.
This ARM PC only has 16 gigs of RAM versus the 36 that I have on this Mac. So it'd be interesting to see how well. Anyways, my client, she went to render it, and she's like, I can go get some coffee and check the mail. I laughed. I'm like, yes, you can.
Yes,
and guess what? When you come back, it might not be done.
You can do all of those things. Yeah, good deal. Look, is
there any way to speed this up? I'm like, switch to a Mac, but you don't want to do that.
No, buy our Windows PC. Is it Qualcomm? Who's making these chips? Now I feel like I need to go find out. Who makes the mobile chip? It is called Qualcomm. Yeah, so there are ARM PCs out in the world. So that's now it's easy to tell a person that is on Windows, like, yeah, go buy one of these.
And the battery life's pretty darn good too.
The battery life seems to be. I've been listening to Windows Weekly off and on, like here and there. And like
that's one of those I cannot listen to every week.
I can't do it every week. Usually, I don't even listen to it every week. Like, I don't even attempt to. It's just like, I need something to listen to. I'll throw on Windows Weekly. Let's see what Paul has to say about this. But Paul, being the curmudgeon that he is really, really over the moon for Paul. That's like me being over the moon about something for people who don't listen to Windows Weekly and don't know Paul Thurrott. Because Paul Thurrott is a crotchety person. He is a warrior that has been dealing with Microsoft and their weirdness and the craziness of the world for way too long. He is very crotchety. So for his enthusiasm about these ARM PCs that he's been testing, like if I was inclined to do such a ridiculous thing, I would go buy one.
Well, Microsoft put 5G in the Surface Book, so that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, Mallory.
She does not listen to the show, but I will make sure to let her know again.
I know she does.
Again, because I told her one time, she's like, well, I don't know. How did she word it? It doesn't matter what Damashe thinks or something like that. Like,
she's not the only person that feels like that, so it's okay. But yeah, I know she doesn't listen to the show. Otherwise, you would take it a whole lot more hell about these shoes, because that is for people that's been listening to us long enough, they know about the shoes. And
since DM 78.
And she probably wouldn't be happy to know that people know about her shoe situation
she
like
knows.
that. I mean,
she knows.
But does she know how many people know about her shoe situation?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. She knows we talked about it.
She knows that we've complained about it on the show, though.
We?
Okay. She knows that I have complained about it on the show. There's a reason I'm no longer allowed to record shows in the closet.
Oh, yeah. It probably sounds a little bit more reverby in here, too, because my phone that was on the wall behind me fell down. I can hear it.
Only when you get off mic.
And it's slightly driving me insane, and I don't like it.
Well, D-Verb is an amazing tool. I don't use it that much, but...
Man, that is like... That... So... D-Verb, like that has been the reason, honestly, even though I don't use it all that often, when I was editing audio, and if I have to edit audio, it's not a tool that gets pulled out every time. When I was editing, when we were bouncing back and forth editing the show, I didn't use it every time, but there are times when I will have to use D-Verb, and like that is what would keep me like, oh, there's an upgrade out for iZotope. And there's a discount right now for people who own this version of iZotope. I'm going to upgrade. Why? D-Verb, more than anything else they make. D-Verb.
Yep. I know a lot of people are happy with Dialog Isolate. First of all, it's on the advanced, and D-Verb is not on the advanced. It's on standard, I think.
Yep.
I was never too thrilled about Dialog Isolate. That being said, however, I am not doing a lot of convention recordings. If I was doing more convention recordings, that would probably be a tool that I would love, but D-Verb is amazing.
Yeah, the Dialog Isolate is designed for that kind of environment. Like, oh, I recorded this on the convention floor with my, handheld recorder, and I need to really pull us out of this background. Yeah. But yeah, D-Verb is awesome.
Wave makes a D-Verb tool too, don't they? A D-Verb plugin?
It must be, if they do, it's new. Like it's...
Maybe I'm thinking of like a D-Noise.
Yeah, they do make a D-Noise.
Yeah.
A lot of people...
Those can be handy too.
Yeah, a lot of people make a D-Noise. Those are handy. iZotope, and I think Wave also makes D-Clip.
Yep. I don't know about Wave, but I know iZotope does. And then
iZotope has that mouth D-Noise, which I had to cut just a couple of those out of that edit. Yeah, that thing that you just did.
Hell, Apple Intelligence.
But yeah, iZotope is that is a tool that, like, it's not topical. It's not like you don't even think about it until you just reach for it, and like you expect it to be there when you need to use it. But consistently, I have tried to keep it upgraded. I probably should look at upgrading this year, maybe, because I think it's been a year. It's been 2 years since I last did an upgrade, or since we last went in and did an upgrade on that tool.
Yeah, we should look into that. iOS 26 beta 8. Is there normally 8 betas before it's live?
It all depends. There have been.
Okay.
I mean, I remember one year where there was 2 dev beta releases in the same week. Like one on a normal day, which is like Monday or Tuesday, and another one on like that Friday. It was like, geez, what the guys, they broke something serious that week, I think. I didn't upgrade at the beginning of the week, so I didn't see the problem, but yeah, I remember that being a thing. These betas have been fairly stable.
Yeah, they have.
The biggest complaints I've heard from around the internet have been like visual glitches, which of course, neither one of us sees those. So I don't care. I don't know about your visual glitches, and this didn't render out right. I can swipe and touch and tap, so I'm good.
Yeah, and you can make phone calls.
Yeah, that didn't break. Yeah, that's important, because there was that one year you couldn't make phone calls. That was iOS 13. You couldn't make phone calls. For like the whole half of the summer, you could not make phone calls on your beta phone. You could answer them if they came in, but you couldn't call.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I followed up on this or not. I was talking about the feature that's in the phone app with the new layout. where you go into a number and like, instead of, it doesn't, you can save it to your contacts like you always could. But there's a thing that says add name, is the new thing.
Yes.
And that seems to be saved somewhere, but it's not attached to one of your contact accounts. So I'm still not certain where it goes, but it does remain, which I actually find kind of handy for those situations where like I'm going to be talking back and forth to these people possibly for a little while, but I don't really
not
add them
enough
to my contacts.
Contact.
It like
Now,
I needed this 10 years ago or 15 years ago to save the mess that my contacts are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like I don't
think
call
my contacts right now. I got some girl from the train that my friend wanted her number for, and it got saved in my contacts.
See that kind of crap right there. Or like, for example, I will have to call We Service Autos again at some point probably to do some work on my van, but I don't need them actually in my contacts.
Yep. Or like our original car loan that Mallory and I got together back in 2013. I don't need to call those people anymore.
But at the time, you need that number to be searchable, right? So that you can find it.
Callable from Siri.
That too. Hey, that's something I hadn't tested. I need to save.
I was going to ask, can Siri call with the nickname?
I should. I'm going to have to actually test that and see how that works, because I haven't tested that. I didn't think about it. I just assumed it would work, but you are very valid in pointing out that this is a thing that we would need to do, and we should check to see if it works. But I do like
the new call screen.
Yeah.
Or not call screen, but like, well, yeah, the call screen. When you open phone and you tap on calls, the bottom left.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like it. It and having spent this summer with Android, like some of the elements kind of, I'm not gonna say they seem to come exactly from Android, but they've added some Android-ish type features to the phone app this year. There's been a recent update to the Pixel that has changed the phone app completely, which is not a negative thing. It's just, there used to be a lot more tabs, and now there's 3 buttons across the bottom. There's home, there's dial pad, and there's the dial pad used to be like a little button that was kind of hovering off to the right side of the screen. Now it's just on tab, and then there's voicemails. So, and I actually didn't notice that home takes you to like your recent calls list.
Oh,
and some suggestions
not
list.
to be confused with the home button at the bottom of the screen if you have those enabled.
Yeah, not that home button. Yeah, it's home in the phone now, which is more of like what the iOS 26 calls screen looks like now. So within that screen, you can switch to like missed only or all calls or screened calls or whatever.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah.
Fun fact, although for people who don't know, now I'm going to talk a little bit about betas. This show's all over the place like normal. But iOS 26 beta, when it comes out.
Are you new here? Did you just show up today?
Yep, never listened to it before. Haven't listened to the previous 125 episodes. The phone app in iOS 26 will put your voicemails in the same screen as your missed calls. And at first, I did not like that. Now, I like that because now I don't have to go to a different tab to get the voicemail. And for the most part, I have not had to tap on a voicemail to get it to start playing just to get the text transcript. Have you observed that? It plays after the time and date of the voicemail. If you wait there for a second, then it gives you that information. But where I was actually going about iOS 26 that makes me happier than it should is Mallory asked me today, she's visiting a friend, and her friend asked her, she's like, hey, is it possible to get this song as a ringtone? And so Mallory didn't know. And I'm like, well, you could do this and you could do this and go get GarageBand and turn it into a ringtone and then connect it to a Mac and push it over and then you'll have it as a ringtone. I'm like, or let me try this. And I sent her the clip that she wanted as a ringtone. I said, is this what she's looking for? And Mallory's like, it is. So I tapped on that audio in messages and started playback. And then I tapped the share button. Well, I started playback because I wanted to see how it sounded on the phone. Then I tapped the share button, and under more, there's now an option that says set as ringtone. You hit set as ringtone, and then that MP3 file is now your ringtone. It's as simple as that in iOS 26.
Nice.
Now, I never have my phone off vibrate. So it doesn't really make a big difference to me. But for those who are interested, and there's some new ringtones in this version of iOS as well.
But for people who do, that is going to be a welcome solution, I think. That is actually very nice, though. Again,
it is.
It's been years since I've had my phone not just vibrate. Well, my Pixel does ring now.
Oh.
Occasionally. Like sometimes I'll have it on vibrate. Sometimes I'll have it on ringer just so I don't miss a call. But it's just a basic, office phone ring sound. So it's not anything spectacular. But yeah, generally my phone's on vibrate all the time. Either phone. I was taking a nap, man. So I woke up and saw Mike.
I did that today too.
I saw Mike sent me a message. I was like, what did Mike send an audio clip of? Okay, I'll check it out later. If it was super important, he would have called. Although apparently I missed a phone call while I was asleep. I don't think I had my Pixel face down, but it's possible I did.
Oh, I missed that about using the Pixel on a regular basis. Actually, I think iOS is doing that. No, it's not. It's not.
It's supposed to silence notifications or something when it's supposed to do something when it's face down, but I don't know exactly what that's supposed to do on iOS. Speaking of Pixel, did you watch this Google event?
Nope.
Did you watch any clips of the Google event? Because I didn't watch the Google event.
I heard that they had someone from Saturday Night Live on it. And
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, that's
whoever he is. I've never watched this show.
I've listened to it, but
all respect to Jimmy, like he came along at a point that I kind of was off regular TV anyway. So
yeah.
No disrespect or shade thrown at Jimmy Fallon's show or anybody else's show, but yeah, I had stopped watching regular TV at that point. Before
I heard clips from the.
It was weird.
Well, I listened to the Android Faithful episode.
That's what I did. I was about to say Twit, but actually you're right. It was the
Yep, I almost said Twit too, but nope, it was Android Faithful.
Yeah.
On DTNS.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was very strange, for one.
It was weird.
It was that may be the weirdest thing I think I've listened to. That was a product announcement.
Yeah. I didn't really get much value out of it. I was not like, oh, I should go buy a Pixel Watch 4 or Pixel 10.
So here's the thing. Like your first statement was the most valid thing that I can say about it. I got nothing out of this other than Google has new products. They have a Pixel 10, a Pixel 10 Pro, Pro XL, and a Pro Fold X, whatever the hell they call it, in the new watch. Which is something I could have got by reading, an email that I also have gotten from Google. But other than that, like there was no value in that content to me at all. And I don't think I've ever listened to another event in the history of me being, listening to podcasts or live streams of events that I got so little out of. Like, I don't even know what we were there for. Well, I'll take that back. There was one cool thing that live translation thing they did on the phone call was cool. However, knowing Google, while they were throwing throwing a little salt on the apple, because like, oh yeah, these features here are going to ship right away. They didn't necessarily say that feature was shipping right away, and I'm pretty sure it's not. So let's see if we ever actually get that particular feature.
So what about that was exciting to you? Was it just the fact that it can do it, or was it because it used the person's voice?
So using the person's voice is kind of like a bonus. More so, it was like, oh, I could it seemingly, again, I would have to test that with somebody that spoke two languages, one of which was English. So we made sure this actually worked the way it's supposed to. But the fact that I could have potentially a conversation in one place my mind went to, it's not the only place it went to, but one place it went to is like, oh, there are often times it's like, it sucks that it's only on the phone app. Like, why can't WhatsApp do this? Because my mind jumped to like, oh, we deal with this company that's based in China or Korea or whatever. And like, it'd be awesome to be able to have that conversation and have a conversation with that particular person, right? Or with somebody from that company that maybe is not a native English speaker. And I definitely don't know any other languages. Like, I'm the worst kind of person in the world. I only know English.
I've been playing with live translate from Spanish to English on the Meta Ray-Bans. And that is surprisingly... So, two things. Number one, I will use it more when I actually go to Mexico in October, is my plan to see how well that works. But surprisingly, watching YouTube...
You only need to know 2 words in Mexico. Baño for the bathroom and cerveza for beer, and you're good.
But surprisingly, I was watching YouTube videos in Spanish, and Meta Ray-Bans was keeping up with it. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a good way to experience it if you're not around someone else who... Now, it does not give me the ability to say well, I mean, I'm sure I could say something and it would translate it to Spanish, but they wouldn't hear it because it's on my head.
Yeah. I think probably the other thing or what was otherwise really cool about that is like, oh, this technology is really progressing. Like Google has this thing, Microsoft has shown off, similar translation things. Doing it in that person's voice is... In that scenario, it was a cool demo, but also, the other part of my brain that's constantly in operation was like, oh, so now people are going to make people say stuff in different languages that they didn't say. Okay, all right, here we are. Okay. But it's cool to continue to see that progress because for me as a person who I'm going to be honest, like I'm not too old to learn a new language, but one, I don't have the time to do it, to devote to such a thing. So being able to communicate with people in different languages in a way that is reasonable and pretty much kind of real time is cool. I may never use it, to be honest, to be fair about it. I may never use it, but looking at what that opens up for communication in the world is still a super important thing to me. Because I failed in some ways and didn't get my kids into some kind of, foreign language program so they could be already learning a different language. Because I feel like that is important. I feel like it's invaluable and important for we people who are Americans to know different languages. Whether it's Spanish, and Spanish is always the one we always default to because we see more Latinos and people from those Spanish speaking countries here. But, Mandarin, Japanese. Look, if I knew Japanese, I might be able to get a really good deal on a vending machine out of Japan. Doing stuff over there. But I think because every other country, most other countries in the world, people speak at least 2 languages, right? Because they probably speak English to deal with us assholes over here. And then they speak whatever their language is. And it was a goal I set for myself. Not necessarily a goal, but it was an idea I had that I wanted to try to get my kids into some sort of language learning younger in life so that it would kind of become a natural part of their development. So it would just be second nature, whatever the languages were. Part of that got derailed by discovering my daughter was autistic and trying to figure out what to do with that. And then we moved from one state to a whole nother. So, and I know nothing about nothing over here. So that got derailed, but I still think it's important. And the fact that I could have a conversation with a Mandarin speaker at some point, and they're speaking Mandarin and I'm speaking my version of English, and we have a conversation and can communicate and understand each other is super cool to me. I remember when Microsoft showed this off with Skype, which they killed. So I'm not sure where their tech went, but probably Teams, but they're not going to have a Teams call with just one person. But I remember when they showed this off in Skype, I was like, oh man, that's going to change the world. And then we never heard anything else about it. And again, let's see if Google actually ships this particular feature, because Google has shown several features, including some to do with live translation or near real-time translation several years in a row. And I still can't do it yet.
So I think we're coming up on our time, Damashe. If we're going to keep this time frame, we're going to give TipJar subscribers a little. Listeners already know what they're getting, what TipJar subscribers are going to get this weekend. Like I'm going to probably upload that. I'm going to make ChatGPT generate some quick show notes for that because it already has the transcript. And then I'm going to ask it to create some promotional material to let people know what they can get if they become a TipJar subscriber, and then get this published over to TipJar subscribers. But in the near future, we're going to go a little bit more into Reaper. So
yeah, Mike's going to teach me how to use Reaper because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
How to be more productive with Reaper. Like we're going to go in and set up some custom actions and some keystrokes and change play rates and walk you through how to preview your edit before you actually make it. That saves so much time.
Man, see, yeah, Mike's going to teach me how to use Reaper. That's what we're doing. Because we are going to start training. And shout out to our TipJar supporters, man. Look, thank you, all of you. Hey, subscriber number 1, who I don't even know the name
see you.
of.
Did you say who you don't know the name of?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Tia asked me one time, she's like, I think you know who subscriber number 1 is, and you just won't tell us. And I was like, I literally don't know. It's like they didn't want us to know, and if they would have told me, I wouldn't tell you.
Right. But I know their name. I just don't know them. You know what I mean?
Like we probably get. I think we got the name because of info that was passed, but like I definitely don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't remember their name. They're just subscriber number 1 because they were the first person to sign up.
Yep. And you know who you are. So thank you for your continued
You know who
support.
you are, and that's all that matters, right?
Yes. Well, hopefully you know who you are.
But shout out to all our TipJar subscribers. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your financial support. Big shout out to everybody who listens in general, because many of you have been sharing our show. Our show seems to be getting around in ways that are slightly unexpected to me.
Stop listening to us on your Victor, though, because that only counts as 1 download for all you Victor listeners. So go download the show if you're listening on Victor. I think it only counts as 1 download because numbers aren't going up significantly. But like you, I'm starting to hear more and more people say, oh, you're the Michael behind Technically Working, or I just started listening to Technically Working. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you.
Go subscribe your own self and stop listening on your friend's phone. Cut that out.
Or are they having watch parties of Technically Working? I'm okay with that. Man, I set my phone on the counter next to Ben's phone while we were both in the kitchen. And I was on Zoom, and all of a sudden it popped up and said, share play with Benjamin. And Ben's like, I don't want to share play with you. But I don't know if that means that it was going to share play the Zoom or if it was going to take his content and play it on my phone.
Oh, man. That's one of those features that you forget exists. That Apple rolled out that is solidly just sitting there. I thought it was going to offer to share content. That's why I started laughing. I forgot about SharePlay. Oh, man. I think I did SharePlay with Tia at some point to listen to an audio book. And so she put her headphones in, could listen to the book I was listening to or something. Like, I think we did that at some point. Mostly because I just wanted to test out the feature. Because, yes, I hear you over there. I hear you yelling at your phone. Like, why don't you just play the freaking show on your phone through the speaker? Like, yeah, that's normally what we would do. But I had to test that feature out because I need to know how it worked. So that was the genesis behind that. But thanks to everybody. Yes, please subscribe. If you're a podcast app, say Pocket Cast or Apple Podcasts or Spotify allows you to rate the show, we appreciate those too. Thank you. And being truly honest, like, again, I'm always giving major love to TipJar supporters because they're spending money, but every single listener is valuable to me. And I know that not everybody can support the show financially, but you can do other things to support the show. First off, you're listening. So that's supporting the show. Telling somebody else that you think would be interested in the content, that supports the show. Rating the show in a podcast app, that supports the show. Randomly throwing a link to an episode up on your social media, that supports the show. So we appreciate all forms that we get. Sending us feedback also supports the show because it lets us know that you're listening. And
a creative way to support the show is to just put us in your signature.
Yeah, you could do that too.
The first time I get an email from someone who has our show in the signature, I'll send you $20.
We will shout you out on the show. I'm not sending you $20, but I will. We will do something special for you as a person if you send us an email. That you, well, nah, because you can only do it that once.
Yeah.
I got to hear about it from somewhere else. That's an idea.
Yeah.
We'll workshop that with a little bit more. We'll workshop that a little bit more because that I don't even have my show in my own signature, so you'll be getting in front of me at that point with the promotion. And maybe we'll do T-shirts at some point. So if you do something like that, send us. I don't know. We'll workshop that because might do shirts or hats or something. We'll give you a free shirt. I'm thinking about merch. I'm not sure if Mike's thinking about merch, but I'm thinking about merch. I do want to say, before we wrap it up, that I have personally, and I hadn't discussed this with Mike at all, so it might be news to him, or he might be like, oh, okay, it makes sense. It's kind of an experiment when we started the show that we didn't do a lot of social media publishing and posting and all of that stuff. Mike's been doing a little bit more of that here recently. But I kind of planned when we started the show to do a year of the show without any extraness with promotion of the show to see how far we got, because I kind of wanted to so I should have been documenting this journey. I really didn't do a very good job of that, but I have been keeping a mental journal of like, here's when we started doing this. Here's when we saw numbers pick up, like, roughly. And I kind of wanted to see what that journey would be like starting a brand new show that we didn't tell people was going to be a show when we shut down the last show and all of this sort of stuff. Like, we did no promotion for this really. And see what this journey is like to build a successful podcast is what I wanted to kind of track. And so it's a bit of an experiment because we're always working. We're technically working all the time, man. Like, it doesn't stop. It's a thing. And that was kind of the idea behind the show too. Like, let's see what kind of grassroots stuff we can get. So we haven't spent any money on advertising, period.
Nope.
At all. We did spend some money with DM series. A little bit, not a whole lot. A little bit.
Yeah, not a
Mike
whole
spent
bit,
some money,
but
a little bit of money to push that show a little bit. But we have not done any of that with this show, and it's kind of been by design from my perspective because I did want to see how much do we grow. We've much quicker than I thought we did have, I think, surpassed our average downloads for DM series.
I think surpassed that. Almost doubled them because I think our average for DM series was between 70 and 80.
So, interesting journey. We're still on it. No, we're not shutting the show down. I hear you.
No.
I'm not going to even call you out by name, but I hear you. No, this is not a prelude to us shutting down the show like, oh, the grand experiment is over. No, it's not over. We're still doing it. We will hopefully continue to do it. Maybe we'll reach 1,000 episodes. That would be amazing. We will have we will absolutely, well, I'm not going to say absolutely. I'm not going to say absolutely. If we get to 1,000 episodes, though, it will be my wish, my hope, that we will do a live show somewhere, even if it's in a small back room of a bar. But I'm not promising this because we have no idea what the hell the world's going to look like at that point in time. We're 126 in at this point, so we got a little ways to go. But thank you for listening. Hopefully you'll continue on with us during this journey. You can reach out to us, feedback at technicallyworking.show is how you can send us an email. Feedback? We hadn't gotten it the last time I looked.
Oh, okay.
However, we did get a mention on Double Tap. It was an older episode of Double Tap. Double Tap's been randomly playing for some reason. But anyway, yeah. You know what? I'm going to leave it at this. We got a mention about something we discussed. I don't remember what that thing is. Because the thing that actually stuck out to me.
I was going to ask you what it was. You knew what I was going to ask.
Because the thing that actually stuck in my brain was that whomever wrote it in, like, misspelled my name, or Laura does not know how to pronounce my name because she butchered the crap out of it. But it's okay. We got that mentioned in. I was hoping my buddy, my good Scottish pal, Stephen, would have, corrected that when he was talking about the feedback. But he didn't. Sorry, man. Still love you. Michael, he's on Mastodon. He's Payon, Payown, at dragonscave.space. And that time I did forget what it was. I was about to say the wrong one. I am Damashe, Damashe at technically.social. And you can follow our show bot, who, if the bot does nothing else, is going to publish the link when the episode goes live. It's TW at technically.social. And we would love to be included in your conversations and discussions on Mastodon with the hashtag technically working. And we super appreciate it if you capitalize the T and the W. So just so the screen reader reads it, pronounces everything correctly. Because, it's a computer. It's a
And when I
reader.
dictate a hashtag, it capitalizes the proper letters, just so you know.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I have learned something today. All right.
So, just letting you know, if you dictate a hashtag, it should capitalize the T and the W, at least on iOS. I haven't tried it on Android.
Yeah, I should try that. Except I don't have a Mastodon client for Android.
What's the name of that one that people used?
Is it Tusker?
I almost said Mona. Yeah, Tusker.
Yeah, I just hadn't went and downloaded it. You told me about Tusker.